you just blew all that money.
That's funny.
That's what it is.
I claim $5 on my taxes too, man. If I was making, whoa, I only made $5, man. I don't know how you gonna take a cut of that.
Oh man, so what's the topics, man? Wait. Actually, wait. Nah, you asked us, man. So how's your 2021, man?
I was waiting for somebody to ask me. I was gonna say they don't care about me, man. They gonna just let me ask questions, but nah, let me talk about myself. My 2021, man, so far has been pretty good, man. I can't complain, like I was saying, man. I mean, I'm starting it. I'm ready for, shout out Drake, man. I'm ready for Certified Lover Boy, bro. I'm ready to feel some different type of emotions, you know what I'm saying? I'm ready to get in there, man.
Bro, what's wrong with this guy? Yo,
Hey, man.
somebody take the mic from this guy.
Certified Lover Boy.
Yeah, Certified Lover Boy dropping in January.
Whoa,
Man. I'm
that guy's
excited.
that guy's a true Drake.
Drake fan.
I'm a Drake
Very,
connoisseur,
you know what I'm
bro.
saying?
I'm not a
Number
Drake.
one fan right
Like
here.
Drake is his dad type of fan.
I don't know if I would say that, man. I can't put my personal family business out there.
Personal, but get that out of here, this guy. Yo, this guy's funny.
I ain't gonna put my personal family business out there, but nah, for real. I mean, it's it's taking the lessons that was learned in 2020, and it's time to apply them. That's what my 2021
Yes,
is
sir.
about. Learning new skills,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Taking my life more serious, man. That's it. 2020, man. It was all gas, no brakes in the beginning, and then everything just
Fell off, huh?
hit a wall.
Hit a wall.
An emergency break.
Yeah, but I had to learn from it, man. I had to learn from it. I had to grow from it. So that's where we're at now, man.
Well, 2021, we're gonna have the number one podcast.
Hey, man.
Number one.
Shoot, you know, there's a saying.
Number one.
There's a
Let's make it
saying.
happen, bro. I feel like it's gonna happen. So
Shoot for this is gonna be the quote for the
We
day,
missing
man.
one. We missing one person.
Oh yeah, shout out Glenn Roy.
Glenn,
Shout out Glenn Roy.
G-Roy.
G-Roy.
Yeah, G-Roy.
Oh, okay.
Let's rewind the tape real quick. We're gonna take that out. We're gonna edit
Shout
that.
out Granddad. I say like,
Yo.
shout out my granddad. Shout out my granddad, man. He's a cool dude,
Yeah,
man.
bro. I use my whole government.
Y'all so worried about names, man. But for real though, shout out my granddad, man. He's the only one that couldn't make it today, but he will be in the podcast next week. But
Yes, sir.
the quote of the day, man, I feel like Kenny made it. He told me this earlier in the week. It's kind of stuck with me, man. Shoot for the moon, because even if you miss, you're gonna
We're still in
land
the stars.
amongst the stars.
Still in
Let
the
me
stars.
finish, Negro.
I already knew he was going with this, man. I already knew it.
Why you stealing my shot?
Like,
I
dang,
wanted to
I
say
was,
that.
I was really getting into the quote. As if
Yo.
I'm just hyping you up, man. I was your hype man.
you
right
can
there.
hype me up after and be like, dang, that was a mean
That was
quote,
me.
bro. Now I gotta change the quote, bro. Now I gotta come up with something you don't know.
That's
Nah,
funny,
dope.
bro.
That's a dope quote. I just
Yeah,
happened to
bro.
know he was going. I was hyping you. I was like your ad lib right there, bro.
Let me hit up Siri real quick, get a new quote this man don't know.
Alexa.
Alexa, drop a quote.
Yo, this man funny.
No, but let's get into these topics, man. We only got all day, you know what I'm saying? We're paying by the hour, so I'm just playing.
Hurry up,
But,
man.
the first quote of the day, man, I feel like we're in need for some self-introductions, man. Let's start with J9, man.
J9 the fit dad. That's
J-
what we're going with.
J9, the fit. You know, right now he's just a dad. We're gonna call him J9, bro. He's really just a dad. Tell us a little bit about yourself, man. What are you about? What makes you tick, man?
Man, that's a good question.
Keep it brief.
What makes the fit dad? You know, when it comes down to the hustle, the grind, that's
Like,
what makes the fit dad.
be more specific, man. What do you mean by grind, bro? What are you doing to grind?
Grind, man. Everyday hustle. Everyday grind. You know,
Okay.
trying to make it. Turn this off here.
I would prefer if you put that
Yeah,
on.
thank you, sir. Thank you.
I'm gonna ask you the same thing, Mr. Drip Drop. I don't know why y'all go by aliases
Drip, drip.
when we got a camera recording us.
Drip, drip.
So what?
You don't know our names.
Exactly.
Like I can't. I'm gonna tag y'all Instagrams.
My name is J9 the fit dad on Instagram.
My name is
Add me.
Mr. Entrepreneur.
Mr. The one and only. Nah, but back on topic though, man. J9, man, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. If you want to go into specifics, where you from, man. You know, a little bit about your upbringing.
I don't. Nah, man, you know, I'm just a regular kid out here living.
You have not been a kid for years. Don't say that.
I was just gonna say,
You have not been a kid for
Just
years.
a grown man out here living. You know?
damn near elderly. This guy talking about I'm a kid. Don't let him fool you. He not 20 nothing, bro. This guy
Still 29. I still got another year.
closing the door on his 20s.
I still got grades, but you know.
He's closer to 40 than he is to 5.
Born and raised in Lee County. I happened to, you know, travel around a few. Learned a lot of lessons. You know, I went from, you know, hard living to the easy life when it comes down to it. You know, so we you know, the whole mindset's changed. You know, we got here. You know, we got kids out here. No child support. We got kids. So.
There we go. No child support. There we go. There we go. That's the biggest come up of 2021. No child support.
No child support.
No child
I'm gonna
support.
keep that. You know,
That's the biggest come
We'll
up.
let my baby mama see that.
Oh, you don't got no child support?
Keisha, I'm sorry.
Got you.
I was just playing.
You know, we out here grinding, man, trying to pop off.
Hey, man, that's what's up, man. No kids, no child support. That's my favorite part.
Yes,
man.
sir.
All right,
Trying
Mr.
to keep
Drip.
that. Yeah, man.
Not to cut you off, J9, but let me hear from Mr. Drip. Bro.
This is Drip, man.
Let's get a little bit of introduction. Where you from? Where you?
Man, I'm from Pakistan, 239.
Anyway, all right, moving on from Mr.
I'm
Drip, man.
I'm from the islands, man. Honestly, man, what makes me is my reason why, man. Because a lot of people don't know what it is. A lot of people don't even know what reason why is or what it stands for. You know what I mean? So for me to know my reason why, that's what makes me me and me. Right every day for my reason why and stuff. So
Yes, sir.
A lot makes me, man. I'm a grinder, hustler. You know, I'm always working, always figuring out something to do. You know what I mean? So I don't settle for less.
Okay.
You know? A lot of people in life, they settle for the bare minimum. You know what I mean? They're average. You know, like, oh, you like you're worth $10. All right, cool. I'm gonna take that. You feel me? I don't see myself seeing me knowing like I'm worth anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't put a price tag on me. You feel me? So you can't put no cap on my money. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I go and, you know, grind every day and then, you know, do it for my family. You know, doing it for my future kids. You know, I don't got no kids yet, but you gotta be prepared for anything. You know what I'm saying?
2021.
He said, be prepared for anything. So you don't be using rubbers. So you not using rubbers.
2021.
Is that what you're trying to tell me, bro? This guy said,
Hey, don't jinx me, man.
I've been raw dogging on you, know?
This ain't real wood. This ain't real wood.
This is wood. This better be wood.
That got dumb, bro.
But yeah, man, that's what makes me me, man.
I'm ready to be an uncle, bro. Just so you know, whenever you're ready to have them gist, bro.
Hey, you can watch mine anytime that you want.
I got it.
I'm not that good of an uncle. I'm the type I stop by on a holiday. Hey, what's going on, guys?
See that been once a year.
A slide jet, you know, $20. Hey, yeah, that's for me.
Yo, how old you now? 20? Nah, I'm 30, guys.
I remember when to be that weird uncle. I remember when you was a baby, man.
I was a jit, you know.
I used to change your diapers, bro.
That
That joke would be tabloid.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
Nice to hear from you, Mr. Drip, man. I like that. Nice to, I like
Well, Finn Dog.
Shout out to my Islanders, man. Mr. Drip said he was an
Yeah,
Islander.
shout out.
Shout out to my
Shout out to the
Islanders.
Virgin Islands. You from the Virgins?
Yeah,
Virgin.
Don't let him lie to you. He is from IET.
I'm originated my seeds are born in Haiti.
He is.
My parents
I don't know what he.
are born in Haiti.
My seed. Whoa, hold on.
seeds.
Man,
I mean, not my seeds.
What did you just say?
My parents.
He said my seeds were
My
born.
ancestors.
My ancestors.
How are they your seeds?
Yeah, how your seeds
They're
got
not my
over there?
seeds. You feel me?
Are you trying to tell me you got kids in Haiti?
No.
This guy, you telling me my seeds in Haiti? I don't know. I'm flabbergasted.
Yo,
Can you explain?
Yo, listen to me. I don't got no seeds
My God.
that I know of. You feel me?
He a bad dad. He just jumped ship. He said,
And
"Whoa."
nobody told me no.
Delivery man over here, ain't it?
Delivery. The UPS guy.
This guy been planting his seed wherever he go, bro. Where else you been to,
You know what
bro?
I'm saying?
You gonna find I got 236 kids out there somewhere.
The DHL guy.
Hey, what was it? I think it was Ludacris that said I got hoes. in
Different
area
area
codes.
codes.
Yeah.
I got hoes.
just
Freddie is,
disclaimer, I don't condone any of this behavior. Okay,
What do you mean? You're sparking it.
I'm not with Mr. Drip in this
Bro,
philosophy.
you're gassing it up.
I don't know
You're
where.
lighting the matches, bro.
We go pour the gasoline.
You don't pour the gasoline and everything, bro.
I ain't with this.
I'm not with this behavior. I don't believe in abandoning children.
This guy, Freddie.
Nah,
But what about you, man?
Yeah, what's up, Finn Dog? Tell us about yourself. What fuels you with?
Tell me.
This chat?
Talking about this chat?
Yo.
Oh, okay. That's an inside joke, just so you know.
This guy, funny. Go ahead, man.
Let me talk about myself a little bit, man. I was born and raised in Arizona.
You lied.
In Phoenix, Arizona.
You lied.
No, I'm just playing.
I was in Arizona.
That'd be
You might
nice,
as well
though.
say Texas.
I'm a born dude like that. I'm born and raised in Fort Myers, Florida, man. Been here my whole life.
Texas, by the way, so I just said that as a joke. I got no issues with Texas. I think I love Texas.
Boy ain't never been to Texas, first of all.
Yeah, we have.
When we go to Texas?
No, you.
Extravaganza,
Me.
right?
Yes, extravaganza, yeah.
This guy said, you.
What you talking about, man?
Hey,
All right,
man.
go ahead.
Shout out to Herbalife.
Yeah.
I thought we used to roll together. I
Well,
thought we rolled
What's the
together.
Instagram? What's the Instagram? Add the bed, follow. Subscribe.
Yo,
Moving
I'm
right
I didn't mean to
past-
cut you off,
We're
bro.
moving right on past introductions.
I didn't
man.
mean to cut you off,
I
bro.
think we
Go
got
ahead.
enough introductions.
No, go ahead, bro.
We see the personalities. We see the different personalities y'all boys got, man.
Bro, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I miss
Go ahead.
G-Roy, man. He was a good mediator, bro. That's a lie. He would have made it worse. He would have made it
He
worse.
gonna feel it too, man. He gonna
Man,
feel
G-Roy would have made it
fire.
worse.
Feel the fire for real.
But let's get right along.
No, bro. We gotta do your introduction, bro.
I
Go
did
ahead.
my introduction, born in Fort Myers, Florida.
All right.
You know, a young kid, man. What fuels me, man, is honestly, is just pursuit of knowledge, man. I love to learn. I love to grow, man. I love doing new things. I love trying new things. I love being new places. But you know, I always know where home is at. You know, I feel like I'm a bird, man. I always got that natural compass. Wherever I go, man, I always know I got to come back to Fort Myers.
Yes, sir.
Fort Myers. I don't like that. I'm trying to change the talk of the town too, man. I'm tired of people calling it Fort Misery, man. Fort Pain, bro. It's Fort Myers is a good place to be, man. Don't let it get you
You
twisted.
gotta change the mindset first.
Gotta change the. I'm changing the conversation, man.
Yes, sir.
You know. So, but that's a little bit about myself. That's a little bit about my motivation and drive. But we gotta move right along to the topics. Like I said, we paying by the hour, man. I don't got that much money in my account.
You're a rich man, guy.
Sorry, we paying by the hour. So, first topic, man. I'm gonna start with Josh, man. Josh is the most mature out of all of us,
I wouldn't say that.
as in the oldest. Got the most gray hair, the most stressed out.
I can't deny.
This guy.
Well, he's the second oldest. G-Roy's not here. Granddad's not here.
Granddad.
So, but I'm gonna start.
You know, I
with,
got more grades than Granddad. Though.
You do have more grades than
It's
Granddad.
embarrassing.
Y'all kind of. I say y'all might be tied actually.
You ain't got
I see some.
You
You don't look at Granddad if you
Nah,
don't see
I
the
don't
gray
study
hair.
Granddad like you, bro.
Man, I study, dude, bro. You talking about I study, bro?
Get his head.
Yeah.
Sure. Because the first thing they do is they always want to scream, "Oh, your edge is messed up, bro. Your hair look like rag," you know.
No, let's not get on the roast session because we can get started.
I'm just saying, they always talking to me like, "Your edge messed up, Finn. Your hair look like
But you
carpet."
come with it though.
No, I do
You
not.
provoke it.
No,
you
he
come
starts
with
it.
some.
He
you
starts it.
Yeah, you started it.
Don't
and
let
you get-
hey guys, I'm
you
gonna let
get
you know this
roasted.
right now. Do not let them lie to you. I have never roasted anybody in my life.
Only roast chicken.
Exactly. I only roast chicken. I only roast turkey. You know,
Just got
I've never roasted. I've been roasted my entire life. You know, that's just something.
Finley.
You know, when you're a nice guy, bro, this is the type of thing that just happens to you, man.
Get out of here.
It's just the type of thing that happens to you, man.
It's all right, Finn.
You're a nice guy, but I walked into that. And I'll never forget. I met these people. I walked into the gym as a nice young man, and very open to emotions. And I left.
Very emotional, yes.
I don't
Very
feel,
emotional.
if it wasn't for, shout out to Drake again, man. If it wasn't for Drake, I wouldn't know how to comprehend emotions, man. No,
Bro, we used to be in our feelings in our workout when Finley was coach.
What?
let me stop.
All I
Let me
care about it.
stop. All I care is that I'm from.
Don't get me started, man.
Oh.
Big Drake, bro. Big Drake.
Trust issues.
Bro, if Drake walked through that door right now, bro, you wouldn't have nothing to say. You would have been like,
I mean,
Drake. I almost called you dad.
that's different. You're
Daddy?
very different.
Are you my dad?
I don't believe that would be the scenario.
Yo,
It would not play out.
What would you do, bro? What would you
If
do?
Drake walked in, bro, I'd say the same thing.
He a street like a 12-year-old.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like, I said the same thing I said to him when I saw him at Thanksgiving. What's up, man? How you doing?
What up, Dad?
Hey, how you
What up,
doing?
Pops?
Hey, man.
That man with the class
Again,
top.
you know, I'm not gonna put my family business out there. I can't say yes or no.
Listen, bro.
I'm not gonna agree or disagree. I'm just
Yo.
gonna leave it at, you know, let y'all interpret that however you want.
I feel like
But,
you'll pass out, bro.
You know,
You'll be a true
shout
real
out to
fan.
I don't know.
I'm
about-
trying to get your autograph. Can I get a picture?
You imagine that, bro. You see Drake, you pass out.
Okay. Hey, you know
Can you sign
what?
this poster I keep in my back pocket?
You know what I'm saying? I let him.
I've
you
been
see-
waiting so long for this day.
I mean, you guys see it. Y'all saw it on the podcast first, live and direct, man. I'm a victim of adult bullying. I am a victim of adult bullying.
We're not roasting you, bro.
You see how I'm just sitting
We're
here?
not roasting you,
Yeah.
bro. We're not roasting you. We're laughing
You
with
know,
you, you know.
who was laughing too? I didn't chuckle.
Are you not smiling?
I smile a lot, man.
Get out of here, bro.
I just got off the
Are you not
Invisalign,
smiling?
man. I just got off the Invisalign. I'm
This-
trying to show off the smile.
This
bro.
man laughing, big grin and everything.
No, but let's to take it serious. Take it to a serious place, man. Let's get on to the right, to the first topic we got on the chopping block here, man.
Just throw it out. We'll just
Yeah.
go play it off there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start with Josh. Mr.
No, just throw it out there. Just throw it out there.
Don't just
No,
start.
no. We gonna do it in a structured manner.
No, we're gonna vibe it off.
We gonna structure
Vibe
this a
off
little
each
bit. You know, we gotta let one person talk first.
Nah, I don't like
No,
that. Just
no.
gonna vibe off each
Yeah,
other.
just
Yeah.
vibe, yeah.
We gonna vibe off each other, but I'm not trying to have two niggas at the same time.
Like just on me.
Man, Josh trying to be nervous, man.
No, just throw the question out and
I'm gonna
we'll
throw
answer.
the question out, and then
Alright.
one nigga at a time is for the answer.
Okay, the person, bro, it's only two of us. You know what I'm saying?
I want to start
If
with
it's
Jay.
like
now.
if like 10, 12.
Throw it out there. What's up, bro?
Anyway,
What's up?
so this
Go
one
ahead.
goes out to. This is a good question, man. This is something that's been on my mind for a little bit now. Just seeing how things have changed recently, man. And the reason I kept saying I want to start with J9 is just because he's a little bit, like I said, he's older. So J9, I want to hear your perspective on this because you kind of went through a couple decades. You've been through a few decades here, man. And you saw the change of social media with everything. And J9.
Yeah, I remember when there was no social media, bro. Remember that? You had dial-up internet.
Yes.
Dial-up internet.
I
Bro.
actually do remember that too, but I'm not
You
gonna say
had
remember.
landlines, no cell phone.
Yeah.
I remember
You had to print
when
directions.
Facebook first came out. I remember when Facebook first came out.
I do remember.
Yeah,
that.
man. I think I was in high school.
And Moco Space. We had
MySpace.
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 Yeah.
MySpace and Moco Space, boy.
Yeah, I never heard of Moco Space.
I never heard of Moco Space,
MySpace.
too.
Top
Bro.
8. Top 8.
Top 8 MySpace.
My 8.
Yeah, top 8 friends. Top 8 friends. I used to do top 10, and then some days like, I'll do top 5. Like, damn, bro, I ain't
You cut
I'm
you
not
off.
your top 5.
Yeah, I cut you off.
Hey, you in my top 8, bro. You in my top 8.
Damn, that's
But
crazy.
to get back to the question, man, is how do you feel growing up as a traditional man and kind of experiencing life in the modern era? How do you feel like it's shifted and changed for you, and do you feel like you had to adapt to new things, or are you kind of comfortable? Do you feel more comfortable now, or do you feel more comfortable in the rules that were set up?
Well, my situation now, it's gonna be way different. My situation, I got a, wife and kids now, so, I don't really, I'm not really in the dating world. But, with my perspective when I was younger, we didn't want no relationship. So, kind of pass them along and pass them along a little bit.
Y'all had community companions. I'm just
Yeah, so when it comes to traditional and modern, I think a lot has changed. I don't think people respect values. It's a lot harder to find somebody that would give you that type of the time and respect and to keep them 100 with you at all times. I got lucky. So when it
shout
comes
out to
down,
Mrs.
yeah, shout out to
Shout out to Miss J9.
to K. We'll just throw it out there like that. Shout out to K.
Okay. Miss K9.
That's
Yo, this guy, though.
Yeah, man. So I think it's a lot different, though. A lot of people don't have a lot of women. I say everybody in general. Men, women. It's a lot of nobody really respects the values nowadays. So with all these songs that promote indecency. It's a lot harder to find somebody who's really out there truly for you. You know,
Okay.
so that's one thing that I see from back then to now. Yeah.
Oh, I feel what you're saying. Okay, I hear what you're saying. So you're saying like I want to cycle back to a point that you made. People don't really respect values, man. You feel like you mind diving in a little deeper when you say respect values? Do you mean like people don't have respect in terms of
Their own value.
loyalty?
The value. Yeah,
Loyalty,
loyalty,
you know,
respect. Keeping it,
Keeping it
100 with you.
100,
Yeah,
okay.
keeping it 100.
So you feel like it's more like lies and stuff like that. You feel like it's more of a.
Talking here.
My dog don't know how to use a mic.
Yeah, it's my first time.
First time with a mic in his face.
Yeah, so that's my thing. When it comes down to the value is, again, you see people promoting to be just out there. It's not like they're promoting to be in a single relationship. It's more like I think we've fallen into something like where you have multiple. Polygamy?
Yeah, polygamy.
I
So
think it's,
non-monogamous is
yeah.
becoming more popular. You feel like?
I feel like polygamous is going to be more popular here in the future.
I feel like you made a point earlier where you said, back in the day when you was straight crushing, you was a young, I'm not a quote J. Cole, but
I ain't a player. I just crush a lot.
you said you never was about keeping them. You was always about kind of smashing.
Yeah, but that's a young man.
That's a young man's thing,
Yeah, that's a
so,
young
yeah,
man's
You feel like
living,
that's
bro.
kind of stayed the same though, because I feel like.
I feel like it did stay the same a little bit.
You feel like that's one thing that's been kind of consistent.
Well, I mean,
from the traditional era.
I feel like back then.
Yeah.
I feel like because that hasn't really changed. From what I've observed coming up, I'm a little younger than you, man.
I think it was more hidden back then.
Well,
I think it's more out in the open. now.
we didn't have social
Yeah.
media.
It's-
Social media.
Not even just social media. Social media does play a part, but I think really it's about what's promoted.
I don't
And
feel
that's a
like
lot.
because
And
I feel
that's
like
promoting
rap
a lot, too.
and music hasn't changed all that much in terms of what they talk about. You want to talk about the drug aspect. I mean, it has evolved from, I sold drugs to keep the lights on to I sold drugs because it's cool to now I take drugs because it's cool.
Correct.
But I feel like more or less it's always been kind of like, pardon my French out here, but it's bitches and hoes. It's always been bitches and hoes. I feel like social media is why it's a lot more pronounced and popularized, but it's always been, a thing to kind of have, multiple women, and that is actually a topic we're going to cover soon. But as a young man, it's popularized. It's looked at as you the man if you can smash 5, 6 girls. You smash 8, 10 girls at a time.
Yeah, I know homeboys that's in the thousands, bro.
That is.
So I mean, when it comes down to you're right. I mean, it's been out there.
That is something I feel like he needs to get tested for.
I'm sure they do.
Before he
I'm sure they do.
I've been saying they in the thousands.
How old are you? You gotta have
What,
something.
probably like 80 some years old.
You gotta have something. You could smash a girl every day. You gotta. I mean, that's 3 years.
I mean, bro.
That's over 3 years, bro, of just constantly. If you want to put it in the math, but
Man, listen.
you want to break it down and
2,000 divided by 365.
Bro,
365.
bro, you starting off, some of these dudes, they starting off at 13, man.
Yeah.
13, 11, my first experience was around 11, 10 years old.
And that's
So, I mean, just think about it. You got all them years, bro. Like,
a lot.
got 20 years in the
20, 30
game.
years,
You doing one girl a day,
One girl.
One girl a day.
Bro, you talking about 3, 4 women in a day, bro. Different.
That's crazy. I'm just saying, I'm trying to break down the math in terms of 3 years. It's probably be a little more than 3 years to get to that point of the thousands of just one a day. Now, I wasn't talking realistic. What y'all was doing,
Me, I'm not there.
Josh trying to break.
I'm not even in the hundreds.
He trying to say y'all. He trying to say
I know, not
I'm breaking them with him.
I'm not even in the 100 range. I'm not
J9's homeboy is breaking records, you know what I'm saying? He's doing 2 to 3 a day. You know what I'm saying? He's getting under there under 2 years. He's sprinting at that pace, bro. But okay.
Listen, man, Lee County's a pretty big place. And then going out to college,
I don't know about that.
2 or 3 colleges, you know what I mean?
A lot of people know a lot of. I feel like Lee County. We are as a community, man. I feel like everybody kind of knows everybody. There's people that.
Man, listen.
I know
this
that.
this is a big place. It's a big place.
And it's getting bigger.
It's a big place.
A lot of room
You
for
gotta think
growth.
Kate, Lehigh, Fort Myers.
That's true.
Punta Gorda,
Man,
Port
you talking about all
Charlotte,
these
Naples.
places, bro.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, this is a big place.
Yeah,
You know, there's
it's big.
a lot of inner circles where you're gonna know, you gonna know of a person.
Right, right.
But even when that stretches out, bro, you still got places that you ain't even touched yet.
Respect to that. Respect. Now, Mr. Drip, let's
What-
talk to you.
Whatever he said.
Mr. Drip. Mr. Drip, I'm gonna talk to you real quick for real, man. You grew up in I feel like you still grew up in the just judging by your age, I ain't gonna put your numbers out there, man. He got a birthday coming up soon though. Shout out Mr. Drip, you know.
You said what?
Mr. Drip got a birthday coming up
Oh
soon.
yeah,
So
I'm about to
just
be 47.
stay tuned for that. We finna get lit to that.
47 minus 13.
Your math is off. But anyway, Mr. Drip, man, you grew up in a almost kind of post-traditional mid. Nah, you weren't really mid. You were still kind of in that traditional mindset, but at the same time, you were coming up where the more modern things were being popularized. You know, you had access to both the dial-up and real internet. You know, you had a Game Boy and you had a slingshot. You know, Mr. Drip.
Slingshot.
Yeah.
Oh, the.
Back in the day, man. How do you feel like things have changed for you? How do you think what's your perspective on the change and the shift in the culture?
Man, the change. There's a lot of change. But the shift.
I think everybody think it's cool to be public about it. I think
It's more
the biggest
open.
shift.
It's more open now. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
so what do you mean by being public about it? You know, more open. You mean like
Bro,
like
personal
people don't care.
information?
Bro,
Man,
You
people
talking
don't
about-
care
They
anymore.
don't care
bro.
about it.
You talking about? Are you talking about more
About
of the
being more secretive.
Yeah,
crimes? You
bro.
talking
People
about
don't care,
crime?
bro. People like
Oh, in general. Okay.
In general, yeah.
they want clout.
They want clout. They want
Exactly.
to let everybody know what they
You know what I
done.
mean?
Full disclosure, I love me some clout tokens. You know what I'm saying? I want to get all the clout. You know, so that's how you blow up. You get all the clout tokens.
All right, nigga, rubber bank.
And then
You ain't gonna get no clout tokens for that.
Put a face on it.
Exactly.
Well, out here in
Rubber
the-
bank and FaceTime yourself doing it.
Put a
you feel
face
me?
on it. That's
No,
it.
no, no. To cycle back around, though, I feel like I hear what you're saying. So the change has become more or less, things were hidden. Well, again, I beg to differ on that point just because with the rise of social media, man, people doing the same stuff that they was doing, but they have a platform to put it out to kind of popularize that kind of, like, look at me, I'm the man. I'm rolling this, or I'm selling this, or I'm doing
I think
this.
that's the problem is everybody wants to be the man. You know what I mean? They want that clout.
That too.
Back in the day.
They want to be, more public about it so they can get that clout.
Yeah, because back in the day, you'd tell me, I have, such and such in me. And I'd be like, you don't. You couldn't prove it to me. If you had done it last weekend, you wasn't recording, nobody else was recording. And to have a camera, you gotta have money, like, But nowadays, everybody got a supercomputer in their pocket. So if you tell me, you did such and such last week, I'm like, nigga, you lying. You'll pull out the video on your
Get
phone.
up, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
And the changes, back in the day, there's not as much technology as there is now.
But that's,
We got all types of social
You got a
media,
whole bunch of
Twitter,
stuff, exactly.
IG, Facebook,
Exactly.
Snap. The Snap.
So social media is the huge change in the tradition, bro.
I
There
feel
is no
that
social media.
that point you guys are making about how it's more or less popularized to document, record, and publish every moment in people's lives. We got the rise of vloggers. We got the rise of internet personalities where all they do is just record their day to day. Even for the field that we work in, and some of us working as wellness coaches and stuff like that, we kind of have an obligation to be almost show our personalities on the internet to kind of attract people to our lifestyles, to show them kind of like, this is how we eat to get the results that we get. This is how I work out to get the results that I get. And I feel like social media has helped to connect us quite a bit as as a country, as a people. I can connect with somebody.
Talking about staying connected. There's a difference though. Staying connected and then, trying to gain clout.
Right. There's internet stunts. There's a lot of internet. I don't want to say too much about that, but there's internet beefing. There's internet gangsters and stuff like that. There's internet.
There's Twitter fingers.
Yeah, Twitter. Shout out to the man that coined that phrase, Drizzy Drake. Drizzy Drake, when he bodied Meek Millie. They cool now, and so Meek Millie's a cool dude now.
The craziest thing is on that topic, right? I'm on Pandora, on Meek Mill radio, and I heard more Drake than I do Meek. How is that?
Well, I mean, the thing is, Meek was very much.
I think
so,
that was publicity, to be honest, bro.
Meek was down
Because
bad.
Meek's
crazy.
comeback was
Meek's
terrible.
comeback
It
now.
was terrible.
His comeback now.
No. His comeback to the back to back.
Oh yeah,
It was terrible.
It was very bad because Meek isn't that solid.
You crazy.
He's not that solid. But he's
Crazy.
He's mid. To me, he's mid.
Meek is the best thing going in the.
That is.
Was the best? I should say was the best thing going, but that boy can freestyle. He can come
The
with
thing
some.
is, to me, Meek has always been kind of mid. You know, I'm not too deep in his catalog, but
Shit, I like Meek, man.
I
Meek
didn't say
spits.
I didn't like him.
He
I didn't.
spits.
He's
I'm
good.
just saying that comeback was terrible. I ain't saying his music is trash or he can't spit. His comeback was terrible.
He was down.
He probably wasn't.
Drake.
He probably wasn't trying.
Drake
That's what
wrote
I'm
him a
saying. I
letter.
think there's more publicity than anything on that.
Drake wrote him a mean letter, bro. He wrote him 2 mean letters, and then Meek Mill was down bad for a couple years, bro. He was. Yeah, he said, "Is that a world tour or your girls tour?"
Yeah. Shout out to my boss bitches. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
I hit a heart attack when I heard that
That's
because
very
Nicki Minaj was really the more powerful one in that couple for a lot of time after that. Meek Mill wasn't really doing too much. He wasn't making waves. You know, I mean, name one Meek Mill song that popped off during that time.
Off the beef?
No, yeah, after Drake bodied him with the pen, he put him in a casket in a pen.
Well, him and Nicki made that song.
What song?
That little love shit they had.
Can't even name the line.
I don't know nothing about music.
I can't
so
think
I'm
of
just
it. I
listening.
can't think of it.
Well, it's probably something that popped off during
I
that
only
time.
listen to stuff
you
in the
know,
radio.
but I'm just saying, you know, look at where they're at in their careers. You know, as of now, Drake, you know, he took a hit.
I would
from
say
the,
Nicki got more clout because of the, Young Money.
well, you
Young
know,
Money and
she was
coming off of Lil
collaborating
Wayne.
with,
And she, she was pretty much the first female that came out spitting like that.
well, I mean, we
With
had
metaphors and
what's her name, Remy Ma.
I ain't really, with me, I ain't
But
never
I
listened to
think-
Remy Ma. Nobody knew about Remy Ma.
Remy
like
Ma
that.
was in jail at that time.
She was locked up for a minute.
Yeah,
Oh,
was
she has
black
been.
at that time.
But again, what she did now.
She
You don't hear nothing on the
She
radio
don't-
about
she
Remy Ma.
really-
she bodied Nicki Minaj when she got out.
Okay, she did one diss track.
But she
One diss track she
One
came
hit
out
wonder.
with.
Nicki
One
Minaj
hit.
didn't respond.
It don't matter.
She didn't respond.
Nicki on the radio. Nicki on every.
On every platform.
That's
bro.
true.
Every
real.
platform.
But the thing is, Nicki had a lot of time to build her brand. Like you said, Remy Ma was in jail. You know, she's.
I mean, I think what really helped Nicki was one, she came out with Lil Wayne and Drake. They was popping.
And that's
Lil
the
Wayne and
thing.
Drake was popping. Nicki came out with them, and then she was the first woman to really come out there spitting with some metaphors and some, with
She
that
had
type of flow
punchlines.
she had.
did
She
have
had some
punchlines.
punchlines. So everybody, it caught everybody eye. Like, this girl spitting. And then, some girls came out, thought they could compete. They still, they gone.
Yeah.
She's still out here.
That's true. But to cycle back to the point about look at Drake's career now and look at Meek Mill's career. I mean, look at from where they started from at that beef. They were kind of around the same realm, I would say. Now Drake has stepped into the lane of superstardom. He's a household name. And I feel like Meek Mill is popular and he's a big artist. Don't get it twisted. He's a very, very big artist. But one of his biggest songs is Going Bad, and that has who on it? Drake. That song blew up. Now it was also kind of their song of reconciliation where they came together, Drake, but who extended the olive branch? Drake did.
I'm not saying anything bad about Drake. I'm just saying Meek Mill ain't bad.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's bad either. I'm just saying point of
you got
progression.
money, then you got Drake money. I understand.
Yeah,
feel me?
you're looking at where they are. What happened to him. Drake's career took a hit in terms of credibility.
Man, Drake was coming out spitting with that first mixtape he had.
Yes, he was. But credibility-wise, people are threw that into question, and I feel like that's where a lot of people are stuck on before they get to calling him a legend or a GOAT. They're like, well, he had a ghostwriter. Okay, first and foremost, he didn't have a ghostwriter. He had someone who had helped him on a couple tracks, but whatever. Not to get too much into that. Let's just leave that where it is and move right along here.
Let's go to the next one.
Move on to the next topic. I don't even know how we segued off into that.
Yeah, we did steer off a little.
I feel like we talked about this. We talked about it so many times. Like I
Hey,
love
boy,
Drake.
he heard Drake. He
Like
like,
I
man,
love
I'm
Drake.
gonna protect Drake
Like
legacy
I
right
love
here.
Drake.
I ain't
He gotta give you some history
Man,
in the back of
he
everything.
ain't had no Ghost Rider.
You know what I'm
He ain't had no
saying?
Ghost
Like he
Rider.
know all the facts.
He
you
made a
feel
little
me?
help, but he
This
ain't had
man,
no Ghost Rider.
this man got an
All
internal
right.
computer that has all Drake's files.
Very funny.
Everything.
Very funny. Very
Like,
funny.
G-shit.
Very
It's
funny.
okay,
But
man, you know.
to cycle back around, like I said again, on to the next topic. I feel like this is going to be a more personal topic, a little more interesting. Just again, this first podcast, really trying to get to know you guys, get to know us. G-Roy is going to have to answer these questions in video format and submit them to the chat.
All right.
But
All right, teacher.
the next question I got for you guys, and whoever wants to hop on this first, feel free. I feel like on the topic of growing up and life, what is one memory that you have that you will never forget,
Going broke.
and how do you feel like it has shaped you
Going broke.
and how you have grown? Okay, Mr. J9 is
J9, go
very
ahead, man.
passionate
I've never
about.
been broke before, but that'll change anybody.
That is true.
That'll change anybody.
It's true. No.
I witnessed, that's one thing that really changed, me around a lot. When I had first moved out of Fort Myers, I went up to, Kentucky, Covington, Kentucky,
How old were you when you did this, by the way?
and about 18, 19.
Okay. Go ahead.
So I moved up to Kentucky, lived in Covington. It's pretty rough out there. And when I moved to Cincinnati, lived in East Price Hill, that shit was something else too. But when it comes down to it, I ain't know a lot of people. So the one way that I knew how to get money was hustling. Making a little side bread, a little tax-free money.
I like the way he put it that.
Uncle Sam don't gotta know, man.
Tax-free,
Tax-free money.
under the table.
You know what I mean?
Over the
That
table.
was the biggest way I was getting money. So I go up there, try to change my life a little bit, but, we was always, smoking. So I, didn't really get a job. Couldn't pass a drug test. Didn't want to stop smoking. You know what I mean? Just the mindset of a young kid, and, you don't know nobody. You don't know nobody.
Right.
So, young, dumb, I was living with somebody.
Mhm.
And, I got to the point where, no job, they don't really want to, help you out as much. You've been with them for a long time. They've been helping you. Going, when it comes down to it, bro, eating like a McChicken every, day or two, you know what I mean? Like, it got pretty bad where, I was down bad, bro. Broke me down. Like, being broke me down. Changed my whole lifestyle, changed my whole mindset. Talking about, no money, no income coming in. Yeah, man, it was pretty rough to the point where that jump broke me down so bad.
So J9, real quick, my man, how do you feel like being broke at one point in life? How do you feel like that's affect your relationship with money now? You feel like,
Man, I'm in love with money, man.
Okay.
I understand the value. When it comes down, you need money to survive. And that's something that I told myself I'll never go back. I'll never go back to being broke. Never go back to, starving. Feeling like, you ain't got nothing. You ain't got no job, you ain't got no car. You're living with people, but as time goes by, the tensions rise. I don't know if y'all ever live with nobody, but tensions
Right.
do rise when you start living with people you live with so long. They get tired of your shit.
right?
You know what I mean? They get tired of your shit. And I think that's really what happened between me and the individuals. And feel like I was by myself. I had nowhere to go. And that's a hell of a feeling, bro. You feel like you kind of feel like a homeless. You know what I mean? You feel like homeless. You feel out of place. And coming back with a whole new mindset of I'm never going broke again. I'm never going through that ever again. And it brought a different type of hustle out of me, where having to work two part-time jobs, doing a little something on the side, how to step my game up. And again, it definitely played a huge part in my success, where I was definitely hungry. Big word, different meanings. Hungry. Trying to make it, trying not to go back to that place, that horrible place I was.
Perfect, man. Perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
that's deep, man. I definitely agree with you. Being broke, you know, whether it be, you know, for a year, 2 years, a week. Well, I mean, you really wanna like that. The type of brokenness you experience, you know, is something that will really definitely change.
I think everybody though, to humble somebody, you gotta go through that.
Go through it.
You gotta
silently.
go
You gotta go through it. Exactly.
Personally, me personally, like if you wanna really change, humble yourself, go through that. Go through that place where you ain't got nobody to help you out. You know, you on your own. You ain't got no family.
Right.
You ain't got no friends. You know, you on your own. Like that's grown man shit. Like you for real finna grow up.
And you gotta make it happen.
You gonna
before
make
you
it
don't
happen.
Eat. You know, you don't eat. You don't sleep. You know, you gotta sleep on a bench.
Man, I went from, you know, it's craziest thing. I went from being 185, 190 to 173 in a couple months. Like, you know, a month and a half, I dropped almost 20 pounds. Just from being that, you know, feeling that type of way, man. Like, you know, you broke. Like,
You got no money to eat.
you ain't got no money to eat.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta. I mean, when you do eat, it's few and far in between.
You know what I mean? You live with people that got kids and shit. You know, you feel like, you know what I mean? They feed
Yeah,
their
bro,
kids.
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
Ain't worried about it.
I mean, you know, don't get me wrong. You know, I hit a couple, you know, a little plate. You know what I mean? But,
Right.
You know, it's not like you want it. You know, you can
Do
eat.
it every day. Yeah.
You can't eat how you want to
You
eat.
can't eat how you want. You're
Can't
not
eat.
comfortable.
I feel like that's a change of perspective we all got.
But again, you know, it all falls down to, you know, once they start, you know, things start to fall out, you know, people start to get tired of your stuff, you know, it's the helping hand kind of comes back a
Kinda
little
come
bit.
back,
Yeah.
I mean, and that speaks to a different topic. You know, I mean, you can only take from someone for so long before.
But again, that's where, you know, and
Gotta
that
give.
really changed, you know, just like I said, changed my mindset. You know, I wasn't, you know, once I started getting back on my feet, I started having a little bread in my pocket, you know, I wanted to get back a little bit. You know what I mean? Because I know how that jump feel, to be so down. You know what I mean? You know, I see kids, you know what I mean, with, you know, parents ain't, you know,
Right.
that they, you know, they ain't really giving, you know, I feel bad for that. So me personally, when I start feeling, you know, I start helping out.
Okay.
Or you know, even just kids, you know, you just see somebody going through that same experience I went. You know what I mean? They got kicked out of the house, they trying to make it,
Right.
you know, making $10 an hour. I mean,
Can't
trying to
live
hold
off
an
of that.
apartment down that's, you know,
Can't live off of
1,000, 1,100. You know what I mean? It gets, you know, I see people like that, bro. And I, you know, I just wanted to kind of help out. You know what I mean? Give
Salute
back.
to you, man. Salute to J9. That takes a lot, man. A lot of people, you know, experience something like that and it'll wake up that dog in them, but it'll also make them kind of selfish. You know, it'll close them off. You know, I feel like, in my opinion, I've seen a lot of people who go through something like a deep struggle, like
I don't
being
say I got
really
selfish.
distant.
I don't say I got selfish. I got
Nah.
real hungry.
No, you got hungry. You learned and then you evolved from it. But I feel like some people don't get that lesson of.
I think everybody should get that lesson.
Let me give
you know,
you
it's
that.
crazy too, because you'll go from being the pickiest eater to eating anything that get put in front of you.
Right.
That's another thing, you know, growing up picky, I don't want no damn, I don't want no
I don't want this.
peppers, I don't want no
Yeah.
mushrooms,
Yeah, I don't like tomatoes.
I don't like tomato.
No broccoli.
You know what I'm saying?
don't put no mayonnaise on my sandwich, you know what I mean? Like, just put mayonnaise, I don't want that, you know what I mean? You go to that pickiness, to like somebody putting some food in your plate, you
Eating that shit.
hitting the crumbs, you know what I mean? Like you
You wipe your plate.
you know what I mean? You start licking the plate and shit. You might try to take a bite of the plate. One, you know, see,
It's a
that
plastic
shit-
plate. I can still eat it. You know? It's a paper plate. I can
Paper
eat that.
plate, yeah.
It still got the sauce on it. You know
Real,
what I'm
man.
saying?
You chop the sauce off a little.
Hey man, J9 again. That's deep, man. You know you bringing some lessons here that I feel like a lot of people need to know. You know, I don't feel like, you know, I would hate to have everybody experience something like that, but that is an important lesson. But to bring it to Mr. Drip, man, what is a memory? What is a memory you got for us, man?
Oh man,
You tired,
I
bro?
ain't gonna lie, man.
Ready to
I
sleep,
went to
man?
sleep late last night, man.
Mouth is wide. You tired, bro? Letting all the air out.
That's
Man.
Mr. Drip, man. You know
What
he
is
dripping
that?
over there, man.
He drip. He
He
drip.
been dripping all
I'm
night.
over here
man.
slobbing this shit. He's not
He
down.
dripping all night.
It's the leak he got in his house. It was dripping on his forehead. He was asleep.
Oh man, I got a small bladder, bro. That's what it means, Mr. Drip. That's how they call you, Mr. Drip. I wet my pants, man.
Got many sheets, Mr. Drip. The man of many sheets.
Man. God no, bro. But, what really for my life, man?
Okay, go ahead.
Staying area-wise, the area I was living in, my mom is a single mother, and she raised us like, you know, like it was two parents in the house. You know what I mean? And area we were
held
living
it
in.
down.
Yeah, she really held it down.
Play both roles.
I mean, it's hard when you're a single parent, man. The junk is hard,
Yeah,
man.
it
You know,
really-
growing up in a single parent household myself, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard.
It really
You know,
is,
because
man.
you know the parents are working full time or even having two jobs.
Jobs and that's
Bro,
how
they
my
coming
mom
home,
was,
they
bro.
want to put up with no shit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for real. That's why
I
they
feel like
yelling. That's why they be yelling
I
and
think they're a
stuff.
little more
Now we
agitated.
understand that. You feel
Yeah.
me? Now we understand that.
Man, listen, I understand a lot of stuff growing up, man. Why people acted the way they did.
Mhm.
You know, I'm going through their shoes now. I'm like, damn.
That's why.
This
You
is why they
know
whoop
what
my
I'm
ass
saying?
like that.
That type of stuff make you call him, hey, man, I'm
That's
sorry.
why y'all hit with a stick. You
What you
feel me?
sorry
Yeah.
for? I'm
You know,
just
That's
sorry.
why they was throwing that damn shoe at me when
Exactly. Damn, I was dumb.
I'm so sorry.
Yo,
Man.
oh man,
I
but yeah,
feel
just
that's deep, man. You
Yeah,
growing up
man.
in a single parent house for that.
single parent house.
They
you
They
know.
don't even let you know they
It wasn't-
struggling. You know what I mean?
I was just gonna say that,
They
bro.
try to hide it.
They try to hide it, bro.
Like,
You
I'm
feel me?
giving you what I didn't have.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm
Like,
saying? They tell you, hey, I can't get it there. I get it tomorrow or next week.
yeah.
You know what I'm
We
saying?
can't
Just
get
living
McDonald's
that.
today. You know,
what
we
I'm
finna
saying?
eat them hamburgers with the
Exactly.
peppers and onions in it.
Exactly.
Oh, you
You need to eat
what
your
type of lessons
vegetables
you
more
learn,
often,
man.
kid.
Mom, can we
You
go
know
to
you need
McDonald's?
it.
You got McDonald's money?
Real.
You know,
Hey,
nah, I got McDonald's money.
Exactly.
Mama
You
got
know what
rice
I'm
and
saying?
beans
Yeah.
for dinner and shit.
Wow.
Why we eat rice and beans and
Every day,
egg?
every day, you feel me? Rice and beans, nigga, that's all we got. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
all we got.
But yeah, just living in that household and you know in the neighborhood that we were living in, it wasn't the greatest, man. I remember, like we had limited time outside. You know what I mean? Like you couldn't be outside
Till the
you know.
street lights come on.
What? You know what I'm saying?
Street
Like
lights come on.
you was not gonna be outside in the morning times. You had to go to school, come from school. You had to be in the house at a certain age. But just in our neighborhood, man, just seeing you know the drugs, you know the murders. I ain't seen no murder. You know what I'm saying? I ain't seen no murder, but you know the murders all just happening in the area, and you know the all the violence and stuff, man, and just living in the area and you know being able to you know see you know the you know what is affecting you know family members and other friends and stuff, people that you know you grew up with that you don't even see anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Right, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like you grew up with them, but you know you don't see them tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So it's just
okay.
you know it's just stuff like that, man, that really formulated my like made me the person I am today. Just to don't take life as you know for granted. You know what I mean? A lot of people just go through life going with the flow of life and just taking it for granted. You know what I'm saying? So me, I don't, man. I just go, you know,
So I feel
like it's my last every day. You feel me?
Mr. Drip, man, I gotta ask. So you feel like you got early on, you feel like you got a grasp of the concept of death very early on. So you kind of had a lot of experience with maybe death, or was it more like people moved away?
Oh, not, bro. It's
People
like,
come and go, bro. People
Yeah,
just coming
exactly.
and going.
Come and go.
Okay, more coming and going.
coming and
More,
going, man.
more come and go,
Deceased.
but also, you know, like, you know, a friend, like, for instance, you know, like there is this, you know, these brothers that we used to, you know, play football with, sandball, football, basketball stuff, and then, you know, one of the brothers, you know,
Makes
had
you speak of
altercations with, you know, some other guys, and
Right.
you know,
And they ended
other
his
guy
life.
retaliated, boom, you don't see that guy no more. It's like those type of situations, you know what I mean? That's what I mean by,
Wow,
you
so
know, people come
early
and go for
on,
real. Exactly.
Experiencing with the passing of people and how brief
Exactly.
Life
and
could be.
temporary.
Exactly. Exactly.
And so just a little bit of advice in there, man. Cherish your loved ones, cherish the memories, man.
Definitely, bro.
Because you never know when it'll just it's over.
Take over.
Car crashes
That fast.
You know, my parents used to make jokes and stuff like that. You know, don't go outside. A meteorite could come and hit you. At any time. Trying to scare them. I mean,
Pluto gonna hit us.
hey man, honestly, I feel like that's a metaphor for the fact that at any moment this could all go
No,
away.
you're right. You're right.
You know,
Definitely.
you
I
never
mean,
know.
situations change every day. You could have to, you know, living your best life. The whole day living the best life, and at the end of the night, something just
You lose a
you know,
leg.
You run into that one person.
Catch a stroke, lose a leg, man. I mean,
Hit a tree.
hit a tree. Somebody. I mean, I've seen people crash into light poles. Light
yes,
pole
bro.
fall on somebody's house. Somebody. I mean, just a few years back, man, there was a Payless. Somebody ran a Mustang. Right into
41?
the- Yep. Ran a
Oh,
Mustang.
man.
Right into that Payless. And just like that, you know, I don't know if anybody died. I didn't. check.
Listen, man, when I worked at place on McGregor, actually it's not too far from here. There was a blind spot right at the turn lane. So, you know, traffic would backed up in the first lane. You couldn't see in that second lane.
Right.
So, you know, there have been times where we walk outside, you see ambulances where people try to make that turn and that
They
car
get hit.
flying down McGregor. They
Boom.
get hit. I mean, you see, you know, one incident, the dude had a, you know, car full of people. It was him, his wife, and a friend of his wife.
Mhm.
They tried to make that turn. They couldn't see. So, you know, you inch it, you try to just flow through. He tried to flow through, big old car came, SUV, hit him, boom, killed all three of them but the driver. Killed all three of the passengers but the driver. And, you know, that's something he's going to have to live with. But, you know, they're just going to go get some food. You know what I mean? There's a restaurant right next to the, you know, in the plaza. They trying to get some food. And they probably having a good-ass conversation, laughing and giggling. All of a sudden, he tries to make that turn, and boom,
Next
life
thing you know,
changed.
He wakes up. He's the only one left.
Life change that happened numerous times.
Is it the turn coming off the bridge?
Nah, it's
Right here?
right when you turn off the bridge, it's that first plaza right there on the left.
Yeah.
So once you hit that middle lane, if traffic gets backed up from that
yes,
light,
I need
you know,
to talk
they
about-
being nice, they
I
want
need
to give
to
you that
talk
little space
Right.
where you can turn in, but they ain't
Yeah.
telling you if their car coming or not. So you can't see. Like,
Can't
if that
see,
gets backed up, you can't see
yeah.
nothing. So you try to inch, you like, I can't see, so you just kind of go for it.
Right.
And this almost happened to me where, you know, I have my Mazda and it has sport mode. You know what I mean? So when you hit that gap, you go, it don't move nowhere, is it?
You're just making a lot of noise.
It sounds like it's moving,
Yeah,
but it
it
ain't
ain't
going
moving, you know what I
nowhere.
mean? So it's like, you know,
Type of car everybody looking at like.
so it's backed up.
Don't go, bro.
Yeah, so it's backed up. So I'm trying to make it. So it's like, why is that? You know, it's like Scooby Doo tries to run it.
He getting ready to go. You know?
It's starting to pick up. It's starting to pick up.
So I look over, a car was flying. It had been doing like 50, 55 miles. He coming. I was like, yeah. And it, you know, it took off. But I'm talking about if it would have lasted, you know, half a more second, that's
Yeah,
a collision.
Bro. Oh, wow. They would have got you.
It'd have hit me.
They would have got you.
So I mean, it's just like that.
Pro
Where
tip, get life insurance, man. No funny shit, man. No funny stuff. Like, honestly, life insurance and that kind of thing is very important to have, just, you know, in case you die. You know, somebody
set
got to
up.
throw your funeral, somebody got to
somebody
pay
set
for the, you know, or, you know, your family could just be straight, man. I mean, you might not have kids, but, I mean, Jayna, I know you got kids, man. And
listen, I know how important it is. I used to sell life insurance. That's just the place I was at, sell life insurance in there.
Yeah.
And
insurance is
yeah, I'm
very,
making
very
good money.
important, man.
But it's crazy. You call people, right? You call them on the phone. Oh man, the price sounds great. We'll do it, but wait over the weekend. We're gonna talk it over. We're gonna talk it over. Me and my husband, we want it. Let's do it. No, we finna talk it over though. You know, call him on Monday.
Crying.
She crying. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to act like that. What happened? What happened? My husband died in a car accident.
just like that.
Just like that. And you know, it's crazy because the policy is what we were selling. If you die in a car accident, it doubles. So just imagine that would have been double the money. If you would have signed up for $15,000, you would have got 30 right there. And you would have been set up for your funeral. You've been set up for, you know,
A little money in your
bills.
pocket.
Not even money in your pocket, bro. That's the least worries, bro.
That's bills.
That's the least worries.
God damn, you think about
You
money?
talking about money?
Boy, God
You
damn.
talking about, hey, Dad, you got life insurance?
Yeah, I'm saying 10,000 for the funeral, the rest of my pocket.
For real, man. How much you got?
Shit.
Hey, risk bill.
Your parents ain't saying they got life insurance.
For real.
I don't want life insurance to be set up for my.
Nah, listen,
I don't need
listen,
a flashy
you don't-
funeral, man. I want my peoples to be straight.
Listen, you want enough to at least take care of the bills.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. My people to be
Funerals
straight.
cost a lot of money, man.
I don't need that. Put a tombstone. He was a
Nah,
real nigga.
tombstones cost a lot of money.
He was a real nigga, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Keep the rest.
Tombstone heavy as hell, boy.
That shit's like 4,000, bro.
Man, you
For a tombstone,
get a piece of paper, bro. Put it over my grave.
You finna have a plaque.
Staple
For
a
real,
piece
you
of paper.
gonna get an urn. You gonna get an urn for 700.
They say just cremate
Fuck
him.
it off.
You'll get you a
You ain't gotta take him nowhere. Just cremate him at home, man. Just
You
take the
make
body
it to a
home.
frisbee or something.
Yo, Ginger.
No, but
Cremate half his body.
For real,
Yes, man,
man.
man. That ain't nothing to play with, man. And
Can we just bury his top half?
I mean, whatever y'all can get from the wreck, man.
Just the legs in the
Just,
casket.
yeah,
Just the legs in the
we only
casket.
want the legs. Just take the legs off. Is that a discount? Can we get a discount?
You only got half a body. Can we get half a casket?
Yeah.
That's funny.
In reality, though, to bring it back to the more serious point, man, death is permanent, and death is unavoidable.
It's unavoidable. Unpredictable.
unpredictable.
But you can't live life like, you know,
in constant fear.
Yeah,
That's
you
why you
can't
gotta
live
prepare
like
for things like that.
just gotta know everything happens for a reason. When it's your time, it's your time. Just honor the time, man.
Exactly.
Big shout out to you guys, man. Thank you for sharing that, man. That's important stuff to know, man. You know, going broke and the concept of death, man. Those are two things I feel like a lot of people, you know, don't get too much real experience with, and you know, they also don't properly handle. You know, I feel like you said, you know, having too much of a fear of death, you know, a dry.
You ain't living life, bro.
You ain't living life, and
What's it say? Just because you're alive don't mean that you living.
yeah,
man.
Yup.
you could be alive and not
scary,
living, man. And being too scared of being broke, man, it'll have you in a stingy mindset. Like I was saying, you get consumed by greed. I need more. I need more. I need more. You know, it's okay to want to go to the next
Can't live
level.
a grieful life, man.
You want to go to the next level, that's perfect, man. You want to make more money, that's perfect. But when you start to undercut people, when you start to get in the territory of, you know, I'm going to make sure that I'm the only one at this table eating.
Scammers.
Yeah, them scammers, bro, those people that steal from others, you know.
T-Johns, T-Pepe. That's his name, though.
Shout out my Zoes, man. Shout out my Zoes.
Shout out to all my guys. I named T-Pepe.
T-Pepe, we see you, dog.
T-John, you know what I'm saying?
We see you, bro.
T-Son.
We see you, man. Very important lessons, though. Very, very important, man. That's deep
What we
stuff.
got next? What we got next?
Next up on the chopping block, man, I kind of, you know, I want to ask, again, I'm going to throw this out there, you know, just whoever want to jump on it first can jump on it. But, you know, just give me 3 words of advice you want to give to, you know, say you could speak to the younger version of yourself. You know, I'm not going to say young man, I would just say, you know, the younger version of you. Say you could talk to him and give him 3 words of advice. What would you tell him?
Man, that's actually good topic. I mean, the one thing I would say is live your life. You know what I mean? Live it to the fullest, right? Live your life with character, having good character.
Okay.
You know, get rid of the bad attitude.
Yeah.
Get rid of attitude. That's the one thing that held me back all my life.
It's attitude.
Attitude, man. I got kicked off of every goddamn sport team I played on because of my attitude.
Right.
And that was great.
Fantastic.
Great. You know, I still got people telling me, man, you was the shit, man. Like, you know what I mean? But I was good, man. I was good. But the attitude held me back, man. You know, I got kicked off for everything.
Okay.
You know, not even just that. You know, just having great opportunities in front of me. But it's things like, man, you know, lift this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need this. You know what I mean? I'm better than this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta get rid of the bad attitude. And then, honestly, manage your money. You don't need Nikes. Or I should say, you don't need to be Nike down.
Right.
You don't need to have the flyest phone. You ain't gotta have the flyest gear, car, house. You don't need all that fancy stuff. You don't got. You know, you shouldn't worry about what people think of you and being, you know, materialistic. I mean, that's very important. It's a great lesson I had to learn too. Is, bro, I was, you know, I made this $4,000 check one time. And I blew all that junk on Nike.
God damn.
4,000.
No, I ain't gonna say it's all on, you know, 4,000 was all on Nike.
Damn, what you collect the royalties?
But listen, you know what I mean? Look, you know, I made some good money that month. You feel me? I made a good, and that was just one paycheck. You know, I probably made, you know, 7,000 that month just to, you know, take home. But
7,000.
But listen, I blew that junk. I gained some weight that week. You know what I mean? Like, I ate great that week. You know what I mean?
Fantastic.
But what did it give me in return though? You know what I mean? Like, I had a whole bunch of Nike, whole bunch of Nike in the closet.
Had it donated. You got too big for it.
You know what I mean? Not even that, bro. You know,
You got too small. It
what
don't
you gonna
fit
take?
right.
What
It's
you gonna
faded.
take with that?
You
You know
gonna
what I
take
mean?
with that? Yeah.
What can you give to your kids?
I ain't gonna lie, man.
I only had one kid. I was buying them junk too, but I'm just saying.
I'm saying, like, you know, what can that do for you like
What
10
I'm saying,
years from now?
you could have used that money for something else,
Exactly.
man.
Investments.
Investments.
You know what I'm saying?
Trying to build, like, you know,
Say just it be in your bank account.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, you don't want to.
Instead of having a car payment, pay the whole car off.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, it was that stuff I wasn't thinking about. I got a whole, you know, drawer full of Nike socks. I got 100 pairs of Nike socks. I got, like, you know, 7 pairs of, you know, shoes,
Tops,
shorts to match them. You know, and all that stuff. And I was, you know, I was walking. You know what I mean? Like, what's the big point of that? You know what I mean? You don't need Jordans. You don't need none of that stuff, man. That junk ain't materialistic. Buying big rings.
I was
you
the
know,
same way a little bit.
you know,
when I was in high
big
school,
old,
bro.
you know, charm and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I wear. You know, it's funny because, you know, I bought a whole bunch of stuff. Bought jewelry,
Right.
about, you know, a whole bunch of stuff, looking fly as hell. And I went over to you know, one of the gas stations over on Fowler, Marathon.
The Blue Store. It's across the street from the Blue Store
Marathon?
on the right hand side.
You know what I'm talking about?
That bit turned off.
It turned off.
Hold on, guys. We'll be right back. Commercial break.